You're listening to the Call Kent podcast, where Kent C. Dodds answers questions and gives insights to software engineers like you. Now, let's hear the call.
Hey, Kent. My name is Donald. I have watched your courses for a long time. I sort of took off my own path and started running my own agency, like a web development agency. And I just wanted to know your take on hiring developers and sort of what I should do to compromise between the different frameworks that everybody is using. Should I, throw down a hard line and tell people, no, I want everything done in the framework that I say that it needs to be done in? Or should I be okay with people sort of doing their own thing and then just trying to get everything to merge together? I've been doing this for since I had my degree. I got my degree in 2017. So it's been about 6 years that I've been doing this professionally. And I'm just sort of confused. I don't really know if I should be sort of ruling with an iron fist or if I should just be sort of lenient with the different stacks that people are using. And when I say stacks, I mean like I'll build a project and then I'll hire somebody to come in and work on it, and they'll just completely change everything about it, or not change everything about it, but they're using something that's sort of incompatible with what I'm using. Anyways, let me know your thoughts. Thank you.
And that was the call. Here's what Kent had to say.
Hey there, Donald. So thank you so much for the question. This is a great one. And I will first start by saying that I have never done what you're doing. I've never had a development agency. I've never hired employees. I've definitely worked with people where I was the team lead or in charge of the project and things. And in those cases, it was either well understood what technology we were using, or it was understood by them when I hired them on to help me with it, what technology we were using. So I think that it's reasonable for you to kind of set that out on the outside, but you hire somebody and then you get a new project. And so now you have to make decisions here. Now, there are a lot of things to think about, or at least a lot of things from my lack of experience in what you're doing, a lot of things I would think about when putting something like this together. For one, it depends a lot on, really, at the end of the day, your goal is to deliver the product that the customer wants. And that product includes not just what the software does, but whatever the long-term maintenance responsibilities are going to be, and the level of testing they want done, and all of that stuff kind of feeds into this. And also, of course, there's a deadline and all of that to consider. And so you need to weigh all of these different requirements that you've got, and the speed at which you can deliver the product is only one of those elements. Now, I'm guessing that the reason that your developers are using whatever technology they're using is either because they're most comfortable with it, or they want to learn it, or whatever. And that's actually like totally fine too. If it's just something that they want to learn, that's maybe one of the reasons why they decided to work at an agency, so they get exposed to a bunch of different things. And provided the client is okay with that, and you've got the time, then I think that's a really cool thing that you can offer your developers. At the same time, you probably don't you also need to consider the long-term maintenance and stuff. And so if somebody's over here just building an MPA with Rust or something, then I'm guessing that the customer isn't going to be super jazzed, because finding somebody to maintain that later would be a little bit more difficult, I think. But like if it's just like a weekend thing that they're going to run the app for a weekend for a specific event, and then it won't matter anymore, then yeah, sure, like use whatever technology is going to work. So with all of that said, there's a lot to be said for teams being able to, or developers being able to work on each other's projects and contribute to each other. And so in that sort of an environment, having everything be consistent is really, really beneficial. And I'll give you a specific example. So for the stuff that I work on, I'm building Epic Web Dev right now, and I also Epic React.dev and testing JavaScript.com. And all of these were built by my partner company, Scale Recordings, which also is the company behind Egghead.io, or their sister company. So it's the same people. And because I want to focus most of my time on the material, I've just offloaded all decisions on the infrastructure, to how we deliver the material to them. And because Epic Web is like very opinionated about how to build web apps, I encourage them to use the tools and technologies that I'm going to be teaching, so that the optics are better. If specifically, I really like Remix, and that's what I'm going to be teaching, but they have all of their apps already existing in Next.js. And so they were willing to have my app be a Remix app instead. They tried it for a little bit, and they were like, "No, we can't do this, Kent. It's just a lot of work to expect our engineers to be using Next everywhere, and then come over here and use Remix as a separate thing, and like not being able to share code as easily and stuff like that." And so I relented and said, it's up to you. And so yes, epicweb.dev is a Next.js app where I will teach you how to build a Remix app. But I think that like is a totally legitimate call, because it's more important that you can actually ship things and ship them efficiently and quickly, and with an eye toward long-term maintenance. It's more important for that than whatever like technologies I personally enjoy working in. So think about this would definitely be something to talk with your team about, and just say, hey, listen, I think that by using all these various different technologies, we're slowing ourselves down. We should consolidate on just some specific ones and use those for most everything, so that we can all get really good at the technologies that we use. There's a lot to be said for that. And as far as your role in all of this, I think a lot of the developers there, or at least for myself, autonomy is one of the most important things that I can get from my boss. Being able to make my own decisions, being trusted to be an adult. And so I don't think that ruling with an iron fist is necessarily the best idea for something, even in the hiring process. Like, I don't think that it's necessarily a great idea to go in and say, hey, we're a React shop and that's what we do, and that's what you're going to do if you come work here. I think that, of course, once you make the decisions on the technologies you're going to use, then it totally makes sense to communicate that up front and say, yeah, we use Remix and we use Prisma and we use Tailwind, and those are that's the tech that we're all using here, so that people can self-select out if that's not something they're interested in. But you definitely want to make the developers feel like they are empowered to make the right product decisions. And if they're just cobbling together a whole bunch of things, then you have conversations with them about the impact of their decisions, and say, hey, listen, I know that you want to do it this way, but this is really inefficient and it's not working well for us. And at that point, like, if they still want to align, then like maybe they shouldn't be working at the company. So because like the goal of the company is very specific, and if they aren't helping you accomplish that goal, then probably would make sense to part ways. So anyway, I would say try to avoid ruling with an iron fist, but also help the developers understand the impact of just throwing together a bunch of different technologies, and help them see the benefits of working on the same sorts of technologies for all the different projects. So again, I tried to preface all this by saying, like, I am not in your situation, and I've never been in your situation, but those are some of the things that I would think about when working on or working with a bunch of developers in the situation that you're talking about. So hopefully that is helpful, and I hope you have a really nice day.
This has been the Call Kent podcast. Learn more about Kent at kentcdodds.com and get your own questions answered at kentcdodds.com/calls.